What's up? What's up? It's your girl Michelle with those raindrop combos, and my girl.
Stacy, what's going on, guys?
What is going on, chick? What are we talking about
You
tonight,
tell
man?
me what we're talking about tonight. I mean, there are so many things going on. I know that you and I were speaking about a particular story earlier that, really caught our attention. So what are we going to talk about that tonight? Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's really this really kind of touched me because it this is something that happened close to my community, in my neighborhood, in my area, in my, the place where I live, the place where you think
Mhm.
is always safe, and it just, it struck me. And so we're talking about this kid, as far as I'm concerned, he was 34 years old. He killed his wife, mother-in-law here in Douglasville, and then killed himself, and his name was Udu. And I don't want to mess his name up. So
It is
what was
Udo
it?
Meka Nwamu.
Hmm. Okay, gotcha. Known as Udo with his
Mhm.
friends and family. And it's just a really sad and tragic story. And I will say that, I'm streaming this to my personal Facebook page as well as our other accounts, because I think it's a conversation that really needs to be had. So let's get into it. You ready? All right, girl. So this really touched me. I actually found out about this story when I was in a Women of Douglasville group, and it wasn't so much that it was a shock, as much as it was that this is something that we need to talk about. This kid was 34, and I keep saying kid because I feel like at 34 years old, you have your whole life ahead of you. I am 44 years old, so I've got this kid by 10 years. And so you've got your whole life ahead of you. And just looking at this situation and understanding that you can be in a toxic relationship with a man and not really understand it, or not even really know that you're in a toxic relationship. I think people are so confused and they're looking for something. They don't know how to recognize red flags, or they don't know how to seek the help. So we're not here to dog out anybody, or definitely want to pay respect to the people that lost their lives in this situation. But it's just sad and it's tragic. And this is the day before my son's birthday. And I can only imagine, if my son was in a situation like this, where he was confused, and there's so much to unravel with the story. So talk to me, chick. I sent you some links. We talked about this earlier. What's your thoughts about this?
Yeah, part of me is just as I, did send me some links and I looked at, the pictures and
Hmm.
kind of read over the Facebook post, and I do want you to kind of talk about some of those cryptic posts that, he made over the last few days. But I mean, looking at the picture of the victims, I mean, this could have easily been any one of our sisters,
Hmm.
or nieces, I would say, and the mom, could have easily been one of our sisters.
Hmm.
And just to know that this is the type of thing that we are dealing with right now and just across America.
Hmm.
I know that we do focus a lot on the Black community, and it's ironic that today, I think it was today, there was also a post by Midwin Charles's family, and I don't know if
Hmm.
remember Midwin Charles, the commentator, news commentator that I don't know if it's been reported how she died, so let me not say that, but
Hmm.
who's no longer with us. And it's I see a larger issue that's going on in our community right now. Like, people are just kind of over are falling over the edge, mentally,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
our mental health. And I said it the other day, like, our mental health seems to be shot to hell. And so,
Hmm.
as a collective, and so as you start to look at these isolated incidents, and you're like, but So somebody left you. You know,
Mhm.
somebody divorced you, or not divorced, because I think they were still married, but the young
Mhm.
lady left and, went to stay with her mom. And for him, to go after she tried to walk away and to take her life and her mom's life because he couldn't deal with. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that it was just he couldn't deal with a breakup, or if there were several other things going on in his life that were, making him feel a certain kind of way. But I just don't know rational people sans, some type of mental health illness that think, or that would talk themselves or could talk themselves into going to take the lives of two innocent people.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it's just happening. It's starting to happen so much. I'm afraid that we're going to become desensitized to this type of thing. And then, especially here in Atlanta, it's so
Mhm.
many things happening here with, the young Black community. And I mean, they are getting out of here, through gun
Mhm.
violence or, drug overdose, whatever. But
Right.
this murder suicide thing, and the, the rash of people taking their lives or killing people because of unrequited love, it's getting out of hand. And so we
Mhm.
really need to start looking at mental health issues, stop underestimating, what people are really dealing with, stop minimizing the problem, I think, and
Mhm.
and really face what's going on and face this mental health crisis that I think that we're in, collectively as a society, really. But again, we're talking about the Black community right now. So yeah, we need to really hone in on this issue.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. And the thing that was so weird, because like I said, I stumbled across this story in a Facebook group. And, I kind of, like some people, just like, oh, wow, another tragic story, said a prayer in my head and moved on. But once Douglas County posted the actual, details of what happened, I started to kind of research and look into, who this guy was. I mean, this guy was a 34-year-old dude. There's a little something on the internet about him possibly being an athlete or whatever, but
Wait,
his
let's
Facebook
say
page is
that,
what really. Mhm.
and I hate to interrupt you, so excuse me,
It's okay. It's okay.
but and I don't know what was posted, because you mentioned that he
Hmm.
could be a former athlete. And the reason
Hmm.
why is because there is a link for him to the
Hmm.
ESPN page.
Hmm.
However, all of that information has already been scrubbed now, because we did not know
Hmm.
who he was before now. We don't know
Hmm.
if it was there yesterday, and or was that yesterday that this happened?
This happened on June 6th, so
So we
this
don't
was
know
about
what
3
was
days
there.
ago. Right.
Okay. So
Hmm.
we don't know what was there prior to June 6th, but we
Hmm.
know that as of today, June 9th, whatever information could have been there, it's no longer there. But again, there was a link to ESPN. So I just want to make sure that
Hmm.
we know that he, there's a reason why we're saying he could be an athlete, or a former athlete.
Right. And so that because that actually leads into, when we talk about what makes people kind of go into, these different directions. And so as you see on the screen, and so we've just kind of got a collage of things going on where his Facebook post, were increasingly, there was a lot of, I trust God, thank God, but then they increasingly start to get kind of aggressive towards women, about being, submissive, and the police need to lock up women that are setting up their men. And I mean, it's just, in the last few days, it just seems like there were some things that were just totally different from his and his Facebook page is public, so it's not like I just went deep diving and digging. His Facebook page was public, and so there were some things that were being said on his Facebook page that were a little, strange and a little different from his original pattern of what was being posted. And I just say that to say that somebody should have hopefully noticed that, hey, bro, what's going on? Is everything good? What's going on with you? Can can we talk? Can we chat? I know you and your wife are separated right now. Is there anything we can talk about? What's going on with you? And so that last post on his Facebook page, which was really, it almost was like a suicide post, and
Right.
as you scroll, you see that it says the police need to start investigating women who try to frame men 20 years. The human being is the ultimate of all beings. God is good. There is too many bad people
Nothing
out
wrong
there in
with
the
God is
world.
good.
Yeah, women, modern women have trouble being honest. And so when you read and
Mm.
scroll through his post, it sounds like he was in a increasingly in a bad place. Ladies, I'm watching you. I'm allowed to have more than one wife. Black over everything. I'm a prince. I'm now a billionaire. God is good. Again, just kind of this contradictory
Yeah.
type posting. And this
Yeah. This is
last,
crazy.
yeah, Father God, thank you for revealing the truth. I promise I'll finish the mission. And it's like,
Yeah.
wait, well, what does that mean? That scared me the most. What
I'm going to
mission
tell
were you
you
on?
now. If any one of
Yeah.
my friends posts some stuff like this, I'm calling the popos on you, or I'm
And
calling,
thank you.
a mental health specialist or somebody for you, because
Right. Right.
these should have been alarms. Like
Hmm.
these posts should have been alarming to the people who know this young man. And I don't
Hmm.
know if he had family here. I know that, you had mentioned that he was from another city. Um,
Right.
and I did, see some information about that, but I don't know. Those posts are really, because they're so, or not cohesive, and very they differ from his usual type of post
Hmm.
pre, that time. I don't understand how no one caught wind of it, or no one, said, hey, maybe we need to, have an intervention, or something,
Hmm.
something that could have
Right.
possibly saved the lives of these two women and this young man, because
Hmm.
something took him over the edge.
Hmm.
And again, it could be mental health. I don't know, but this is becoming so prevalent
Hmm.
that if we don't stop, I'm afraid we're going to lose a whole generation.
Right. Right. Because I don't think a lot of people know how to handle, the pressure. Like I said, we're coming off of a really crazy pandemic where people were stuck and just kind of in their own heads and not sure what the world was coming to. And so now they're telling us, oh, everything's fine. You can go back out. You can live your life. There's some people that don't want to go back to life as normal. There's some
Right.
that want to keep life the way it was. But at the end of the day, we're talking about relationships, love and relationships, and the way you deal with breakups, makeups, all of that, and giving people the space and the time they need to heal, and understanding that you may have not been perfect or done what you were supposed to do in the relationship, but it does not have to end in a violent, ugly way. And I'm just so afraid because I have to be able to explain to my son when he has his first crush, whenever that will be. He's going to be 13 tomorrow. So, when he
Happy
has his first
birthday.
crush, and if it ends in an ugly way, I need him to understand it's not the end of the world. You're talking about a 34-year-old man that could not handle whatever the case may be. We don't know all of the
Well, we're
details,
also
but at the
talking
end
about a
of
20-year-old woman that shouldn't have been with a
mhm.
34-year-old man. I mean, that's just my opinion, but okay.
Right, and possibly, but all involved. The thing is, the person that took the action was a 34-year-old man that drove from Clayton County or Riverdale, Georgia, or wherever he was, all the way to Douglas. You had a good 30-40 minutes to drive all the way from Clayton County to Douglasville, Georgia, and kill your separated wife, the wife you were separated from, and her mom, and then
Where's her
yourself.
dad? I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm just
Yeah.
like, as I'm looking at the pictures, I'm just like, where's her dad? Because
Hmm.
you don't tend to see this in houses where the dad is there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if he had
Right.
come to her house and it was her mom and her dad was like, "Oh, I got a gun too." That's the game you want to play. I just,
Right.
I'm sorry. That just hit my spirit. It did. My
I hear
bad.
you. No, and don't be sorry for it, because the thing is, and the for those that are listening and joining us, this is Raindrop Combos. Me and my girl Stacy, we've been home girls. That's my dog. We have been
Yes,
kicking
over
it,
20
and
years.
we have these conversations all the time for hours and hours at night. And we decided to start a podcast around these types of things. But no, you're right, and it really takes us into a whole nother stratosphere where we have to find the root of what's really going on,
Right,
when these types of things happen, because there's no way where are the protectors when it comes to things like this? Because like I said, if
right.
she was out here in Douglasville, then I'm sure she was fleeing a situation that she felt like maybe she just did not
Could have been
want to
fatal.
deal with,
And we
or
talked,
mm-hmm.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you go, girl, you go.
Well, we talked about that the other day. What did we say? It was something in relation to how many women are out here in the cemetery because they either didn't leave and it became fatal or
Mm-hmm.
they left too late. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And
right.
so we talked about earlier just a lot of I don't know, like there for me it's just hard to believe that anyone could get to 34 years old and
Mm-hmm.
nobody picked up any signs that this guy could be,
Yeah.
could have a tendency or could go that far over the edge. So
Right.
the only way I would believe that is if you tell me that there were no drugs involved
Mm-hmm.
and there's like you got to tell me it's no drugs involved, like because this just
That's what I'm
seems
saying. Because
yeah, because other than
everybody's going to
that,
look for a reason.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I have to believe that there were some signs prior to and throughout his life that kind of foreshadowed like, okay, this person may have the propensity to go over the edge. Like if you push a little
Mm-hmm.
bit too far. I just don't believe that in 34 years, a rational, logical, analytical person goes and does
Mm-hmm.
something like this. No.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so I don't know. This just strikes me.
And
It's
it was
really,
very disturbing. It's
yeah,
disturbing. Yeah.
it's
And
very disturbing.
and
And
it's
to see the
and the
friends,
thing, and like you said, oh man, girl. Okay. The
yeah,
friends, their
yeah,
comments, and they were shocked. And so it's like, then that means, do you ever really know somebody? You know what I'm saying?
that's the
Do you ever really
thing.
know somebody?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, like that's the thing. And we talked about it earlier. Like, do you? Because
Yeah.
no one would date someone if they had any type of speculation or any inkling that they would be possible or capable of doing something like this. Like, there's not one
Hmm.
person that I know in this world, that's not crazy. But I don't know anybody that crazy. But
Right. Right.
that would, know that, okay, this person is, one day I might push them far enough to kill me, but I'm still going to date them. Not says
Right.
nobody. Says nobody. So
Exactly.
I don't see how you hide these types of issues. It's because you have to have some type of issues in order to be able to carry something like that out. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Or you have to be like on off your rockers on some kind of drugs. Other than
Hmm.
that, it's got to be some type of people had to see signs. And the fact that people weren't
Hmm.
reporting it and just kind of watching his decline, it just tells me where we
Hmm.
are as a state of the in the state of the community. That's where we
Right.
are.
Right.
We are watchers. We are voyeurs. We don't
Right.
want to get involved. We just want to tape it and record, or we say tape because I'm old school, but we just want to
Hmm.
record it and be the first one
Right.
to get it out there.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, people are dying
Right.
while we're
Right.
sitting back watching. And it's just pissing
Right.
me off. And then the fact that he said, modern women, yeah, again, that to me starts now to sound like a Kevin Samuels type thing. I said it. We talked about it earlier, so I'm saying it now. Yes, it does.
Hmm.
And it makes me mad to think that, it's fun while it's entertainment. Great. We all love all our kind of different entertainment. But to think
Mhm.
that, you and I'll be honest, like I was listening to it, strong for about a week or 2 weeks, because I had never heard of him. You had mentioned him to me. Somebody else had mentioned him to me. And so I wanted to start it, kind of seeing what he was about. And I'm listening, and it was very intriguing.
Mhm.
But after a while, and after receiving so much of that type of content into your spirit, you start to feel a change. You know what I'm saying? And you
Yeah.
can feel it if you're aware. The aware
Mhm.
person understands, wait, hold on, something is different. I need to,
Mhm.
break away from this. I can't keep feeding my spirit this type of stuff. But
Yeah.
it started to really kind of, I started being like, yeah, I'm thinking about this all the time. Like, no, don't
Mhm.
no man want this. Don't know. It's becoming a
Mm.
cult at this point. And
Right.
I'm fine again. I'm fine with you making your money and doing your entertainment, but when you start to see people start to use these kind of terms after and before they've done some crap like this and gone and kill and taken
Mhm.
people's lives, and he talks about feminine something in one of the posts. We all know, all of us who have listened and understand what he's talking about and know his content to some degree, we know where
Mhm.
that's coming from. So
Mhm.
what is that behavior? What is that entertainment? What is that really doing to these young men's minds? What is it really making them think about Black women?
Mhm. Right. Yeah, because the thing is, they have tagged, and he has, or anyone else who's jumping on this bandwagon has tagged this whole modern woman term to be like a badge of dishonor. It's
Mm-hmm.
like we are forced to be modern women. So when he said modern women in his Facebook post, and then you went out and killed, obviously, what you may have thought to be a modern woman because she decided to,
Leave.
take her liberty, exactly, her
Mm-hmm.
liberty, her freedom to decide that she was no longer interested in a relationship. But what's so selfish and ugly, and it's not to demean anybody involved in this situation, but the thing is, when it comes to suicide, if you do it, why are you taking other people with you? That's so selfish. And that's why
Cowardly.
this story, that's why it hit me and touched me so hard. Because as I was researching and reading the articles, girl, I was just digging deeper and deeper. I'm like, who was this dude? And why would you come out? I mean, this is my community. This is
Yeah.
not far from where I live. So I'm like, why would you come all the way out here and take two people's lives and your own?
Yeah.
That
That's a
doesn't make
long
any
ride
sense
to
to
think.
me. You had a lot of time to think. And what were you listening to? What was in your head
Mm.
while you were on this journey? And that's why I'm pleading with our young ladies, our older ladies, ladies our age, to please know that, be careful and aware of, the red flags that you see in certain
Yes.
relationships. Know what narcissistic tendencies are, so that you can know how to keep yourself safe. Because the thing is, this culture that's being created by Kevin Samuels and a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of those that are following this whole, rhetoric, and like I say, I fell into it for a minute myself too. You're making it okay to tell women they're just average at best. You're telling them that they're not anything, and it's giving you a sense of pride to downgrade a woman and make you feel like it's okay to do this type of thing. You're falling into the devilish, demonic trap of
Mm.
this dude is getting paid while he's out here spewing all of this craziness that doesn't make any sense. Because the thing is, we are modern women and you're a modern man. This is a whole different world at the end of the day. But God's laws still stand no matter what, and I'm gonna stand by that no matter what.
Right.
You can't, thou shall not kill. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever you decide to do to yourself, that's on you. But this
I mean, but
girl,
that
it makes
includes
me sick
yourself
to my
too.
stomach. Exactly. That's a sin too.
Yeah,
And
that
so
includes
I don't
yourself.
care, I know people got issues and everybody's talking about, oh, this and Christianity this, and it's not what, no, but there's still, let me tell you something, even with Christianity, there are still universal laws that have to be followed.
Mhm.
So if you decide I'm not a Christian, but you still have universal laws that require you to treat people
We
with
still have laws of
dignity
the
and
land too.
respect.
Hmm.
Right. So that's my issue with it. Like I say, I don't care what you are, whatever your religion, whatever you practice, that's your business. But there are universal things that we have to practice in order to ensure that everybody is being treated fairly and given the same rights and opportunity. These people did. This woman and her mother didn't. They didn't have no choice. This dude took
Mhm.
their choice and their time away. This devilish and it's demonic. He took their time away.
Yeah.
That was not his choice. That was not his choice to make.
Right.
And so we got to understand how are these people being reared? How was this person grown into what he became? You know what I mean?
And who
How was
just
this
sat
person
down and
grown?
watched?
That's what I'm saying. Because if you go to his Facebook page, you will see lots of people saying, "Oh man, I can't believe it. Not my dude. I can't believe he." You can't believe it because you didn't really know him. You weren't really
Right.
checking in on your friend.
Right. Right. Well,
Go
but
ahead,
I learned
girl.
a long time ago that Facebook and social media and all that is not real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like back
yeah.
in the early 2000s, like when it was kind of new for me because I didn't get on social media until later. So I was kind of a late
Yeah.
bloomer with social media. But you
Mhm.
got on and you get this high of all these people that are your friends and all these people that
Right.
remember you and you remember them and you kind of reminisce on the old days for us, but
Mhm.
you start to live in this reality. And I remember having like all these friends on Facebook, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna
Mhm.
have a party or something, a pool party, I
Mhm.
believe. And I can count how many of those friends where everybody was showing up, based on
Mhm.
the RSVPs on Facebook and all that. But in reality, yeah, not even half of those people. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
and
Right.
that was a lesson for me. Like, girl, these aren't your real friends. Like, don't get it twisted ever again. Some of them,
Mhm.
but
Right.
I
Right.
did. At that point, I consciously made the decision to, if I don't really talk to you in real life, I don't need to be following you and all that on Facebook.
Right.
So,
Right.
that was a decision. But back to this. So, no, you're right. A lot of these people probably don't really know him like that. They may know him
Mhm.
from, some time ago, or know him, just from seeing him out or something, but they don't really know
Uh-huh.
him enough to call and check on him when they notice that
Right.
something is wrong. No.
Right. Right. No, I totally agree. And if you're on the live right now, chime in, man. Drop your comments. Because the thing is, I love conversations like this because I think it's real. I think they need to be had. And it's just something, if you have children, if you have family members, you don't have to be a mom to be concerned about these types of things happening because we all have family members and we don't really know. We don't always check in with our family members the way we should to know where they really are in their lives and in their, what's going on with them. So,
Half of
drop your
us ain't
comments,
even
man.
talking to family members. Let's keep
Girl,
it
because we
all the
falling
way
out. We
real. You
falling
know what I mean?
right,
Half of us,
and we falling out
there
over
are so
stupid
many
stuff.
broken. hmm There are so
Yeah.
many broken relationships in the Black community right now because of, pick a reason from the sky. You know what I mean? But
Right.
let me.
Right.
One thing I can say is most of them are trivial.
Yeah.
That I may,
It
pick a
is.
reason from the sky. But what I can bet you, I'll bet you my bottom dollar is that most of them are petty reasons. Like
Right.
we've gotten so far off track as a people. We don't know, which way we're going, and we're taking
Hmm.
everybody down with us collectively. And it's just
Right.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we have, that we lost leaders. And we talked about that. Leaders,
Hmm.
to be a leader, you have to be willing to damn near be a martyr. We
Right.
saw
Right.
Dr. Martin Luther King lose his life for trying to stand up for the Black community. We saw Malcolm X lose his life for trying to stand up for the Black community. We saw Medgar Evers lose his life and his left their kids fatherless to stand up for a community that this is where the hell we at now. That's
Right.
bullshit.
Right.
That's
Calm
bullshit,
down.
Black people.
Calm down. Calm down, chick. I know you mad because I get mad too. Calm down. I'm mad. Calm down.
I'm
You
good.
okay, dog? You okay?
I'm good.
I know. because I get mad too. And the thing is, it's like you can't get mad. You know, people, everybody glosses over these types of things that's going on, and they gloss over it like it's no big deal. And, you know, this is just another story of a murder suicide that nobody will remember in the next 2 months until the next one happens. You know what I mean? Until the next one happens.
It's again desensitizing, you know,
It
and
is.
it's feeding. And what these kids are doing, they're seeing all this, and this is
Mhm.
how they're learning how to deal with their issues. Like
Right.
real talk.
Yeah. Getting
They're
angry
watching
like little
YouTube, they're
kids.
watching these things that happen. They're thinking they, and we talked about their influence of pop culture and what they're seeing on TV, YouTube, all of, you know, media. It's they are
Yeah.
definitely being
Yeah.
influenced by what they're seeing, and we're seeing it in real life. Like we're seeing
Right.
that their hand. I just saw some social media, not social media, but some blog post today about a young woman who I think is an entertainer. I don't know who she is, a
Mhm.
singer, rapper, who knows, who shot
Right.
her boyfriend because he was cheating. Are you freaking kidding me?
Right.
So you're going to shoot him, and then you're going to go to jail, and then he's going to be with the girl that he was already cheating with while you're in jail.
Right.
And so you lost your life or your privileges or your rights because of what again? Get out of here. That don't even make
Right.
sense. We ought to
Right.
be teaching
Well,
our younger generations better, but we're not acting
right.
better.
Right. My daddy's on the live. What's up, daddy? If you still on the live, he said, "Do you
Sorry,
plan to
Mr. Tory.
investigate?" It's he said, "Do you plan to investigate the story more?" Oh, we are waiting for more details. We are digging in, but the thing is, on the surface of this story, it's what a lot of over emotional and overreacting, you know. And so the thing is, if there are mental issues, if there are mental health issues involved, then that's, you know, it is what it is, and there should have been help provided. But when you're talking about kids with or even you're talking about a man that has a childish mentality, or a woman, just like the woman you just mentioned that went and shot her boyfriend, you're just acting on childish tantrum whims that don't make any sense at all. So no, we definitely plan to investigate, but then we'll be investigating this one, the next one, and I don't know if it's enough counselors out there to even address the issues. It's a godless, demonic spirit out there where people are just acting on their emotions, and if I don't get what I want, then I just get to do whatever I want. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. What you think, Chick?
I think we talked about that. We're really
Yeah.
living in a society that is a free for all.
Mm-hmm.
Or is presenting itself as a free for all. I mean, I just
Yeah.
saw another thing today, another video today, you know, about this with this guy, and he's like at the beach, and he's like, "Yeah, I got my PPE loan. I don't even care if they come and arrest me. You know, I'm out here. I'm having a good time now." Really, this is like
Right.
I'm so embarrassed for us right now. For some of
Girl.
us, not all of
Living
us,
just
but I am
right,
so
just living for today.
embarrassed. Right? It's just it's ridiculous, and it's at some point it's like just stop. Like when are we going to shake the heck out of each other, whoever
Right.
needs it, and be like, "Yo, get it together." That's not who we are.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Who?
Right.
And I asked my cousin this the other day. I was like, "Who in our community is honest enough, has
Mm-hmm.
enough street cred, but also has enough, you know, professional cred. I don't know, you know, book smarts or whatever, um,
Mm-hmm.
but has the respect, the real
Mm-hmm.
respect, because
Mm-hmm.
they've continued to do the right thing over and over and over again when nobody is watching.
Right.
Who in our community right now has that kind of respect where they can walk on Harvard University campus and be in place, and walk in Chicago streets and be in place? You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
And I couldn't think of nobody. Like that
Nobody.
was so sad that I was like, yo, I can't think of anybody.
Right. No,
And
because they're all bought and
I would
paid
love
for.
to know if anybody could think of one person that could really pull it together right now. Because I feel like the problem is we don't have a real leader. Everybody's doing things like you said the other day for an agenda or with an agenda. Like who's just
Hmm.
pure? Who's really out there fighting for the cause? Not for no money, not for, just because
Yeah,
they love black people.
right. Let
Besides
me
their
tell you,
involvement, because I know he is
right. Let me tell you
100.
something. It's a few out there, but guess what? You're not going to hear about them because there's no money and they can't be propped up in our in the media in society because the agenda is not to prop up anybody that is promoting positivity and things that are going to change and bring about change in our community for real, for real. So I mean, it's some out there. There's some that are out there riding, dying, and fighting. But those you're not going to hear about them because there's no money in it. I'm telling you, and I'm not going to get too far off in the rabbit hole. You know how when we were talking
We
earlier,
could
girl,
do,
we were
yeah,
really
yeah,
down,
no, we could do
and
that, but
we were in a rabbit hole with this whole conversation. But I'm just concerned about our youth, our youth and their emotional stability. This dude was 34 years old, so if he couldn't handle it, at 34, then what's the
yeah,
hope for the ones coming up behind him? If you can't handle a breakup or a separation, then you can't handle getting fired. You can't handle any type of rejection or loss. Life is about loss. You're gonna lose things. You're gonna lose things. Get prepared for it, be ready for it, and don't be a kid about it. You're gonna lose things. And if you are not prepared, and if no one taught you how to deal with that, then we've got a huge problem. These are the things we need to address. We need to address the fact that you are gonna have to learn how to deal with rejection, loss, and know that people have the right to live their own lives and make their own decisions. I don't force my beliefs on anyone. But if you want to know how I get through my day, it's staying prayed up every day because otherwise I don't know. Girl, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I do a lot of bad things, but I pray every day because this world is so crazy. I don't know where we headed. I don't know where we headed, chick.
yeah. And you know what? While I want to move it while I'm here in a particular position, which is forward, I
Mm-hmm.
also know that I can't immerse myself in that. You know what I'm saying? Because I still have two kids that I need to take care of and make sure that they,
Right.
again, become healthy and productive and self-reliant citizens. So I have to focus on that. So and I'm gonna be honest. Yes, I'm saying that there are not I don't see people that are ready to be martyrs, but I don't I don't want to leave my children either, especially with again for a community that's not really trying to
Mm-hmm.
advance. Some of us.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean? Go
I
ahead.
feel you. I feel you. Well, let me read my homeboy's comment, Glenn. That's my dog, man. We went to high school together, and
What's up,
that's my dog.
Glenn?
What's up, Glenn? So he says, sadly, Black people in America were dealt a hand that was not ever meant to be won. America, the system of government, intentionally was constructed to take stolen people, disrupt
Mm,
them, and leave them to fend in the havoc that they, the government, actually created themselves. So here
facts.
we are, a broken community, families, culture, beliefs, language, all broken and disjointed. And our Black community has no collective identity. But
Facts.
God, but God,
Hmm.
we must continue tonight because there is always. And I it got cut off, Glenn. So holla back, bro.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Glenn.
that comment.
Yes,
Thank
I
you for that
agree
comment,
with
bro.
everything you said. Right.
Because I
I,
mean, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And the thing is, we do have to acknowledge that we are in some things that are it's disproportionate. There's some things that are unfair. But when you're living in a capitalistic society, how do you think that they're going to create programs that benefit everyone being on an equal playing field? That's why you have to take your life and your family into your control. You are your government. You are your president. You are the president of your home. So like you say, yeah, we don't have any black leaders, any martyrs that we can really just really kind of throw our fist up at to say, hey, black power. It's not about that anymore. It's about us taking the control of our homes, of what we know we can control. Man, come
And those
on.
in our circle, because again, this young man had people there. They might have been his Facebook friends. I'm assuming not, but
Hmm.
he had a circle of people who care for him. So you mean to tell me
Right.
that nobody in that circle recognizes something is not right, and I'm a little bit worried about what could happen. You know, because you talked about the sister making some comments or posting, some articles on her Facebook page, so which was a clear indication to me that maybe she did know a little bit, and you may want to talk
Hmm.
about what those things were that you saw, those articles.
Hmm. Right. Right. And
No, go
somebody
ahead
knew
and finish
something,
that.
and
What
so
were those? No, I'm asking you now. What were the articles about?
oh, about,
Thanks, Glenn.
yeah.
We see
Once you
you. Thank you.
Right. No, those articles were about how to recognize when you're in a toxic relationship. Just the signs that you're in a toxic relationship, that you're in you're with a narcissistic person. So the thing is, the information's out there, and even if the person you're looking to help is not even smart enough to help themselves, we got to do what we got to do. Because, like I said, I can't. I would be devastated if this was my mom and my sister. Girl, I don't. Oh
Especially
my
if I saw
gosh.
the signs.
And didn't do anything about it.
Right.
And,
Right. And
and I'm
we're not
sure they
suggesting that
thought,
her sister didn't do anything about it. We're not
right,
suggesting that
right.
at all. What we're saying is, like, if you were privy to the inner workings of this relationship and you kind of saw those
Hmm.
signs and you did not you did not escalate the problem or the issue to someone who
Right.
could help potentially, then, that I'm going to leave it at that.
Mm, I know, because I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
Because I don't want to
this
push
this
blame
is
on
hard.
anyone.
It's heartbreaking, and we get in our community, and like I say, I'm speaking to my folks because that's all I know. I know what it was like growing up for me. I'm speaking to my people, and what I'm saying is that if are going to heal, then we got to start taking some chances, and we can't be afraid of people criticizing us because we're telling you to do the right thing. Like, girl, what we were talking about when, even
Monique.
no matter Monique about the bonnets, and
Hmm.
Bill Cosby, when he
Hmm.
said, no matter what y'all think about Bill Cosby, he came out and told y'all to pull your pants up, and people, they tried to cancel him. So it's like you can't tell anybody the right thing to do. Back in the day, everybody, it was a community effort.
Right. It was a
Everybody
village. Like,
parented. Yeah, it
yes.
was a real
You could
village.
get a
We don't have
whooping.
villages.
You could get a
Go
whooping at
for
your
it.
neighbor's house, and then your neighbor call your mama and tell her what you did, and you get
Thank you.
another whooping when you get home. Those are the days we're talking about.
Thank you. Thank
Our
you.
communities are so, I mean, thanks, Glenn. Shout out. They are so disjointed and fractured. You are absolutely correct.
He said the
And
fake
now, how do we get
masculinity
them
is
back together?
literally. Thank you. Because the thing is, it's like, it's like a separation. I told you there's a silent war, and honestly, it's been created by a lot of these fake YouTubers talking about
Yes.
men are women are overly masculine and men are effeminate. But the thing is, what do you
Well,
guys know? You know what
right,
I'm saying? What do you call?
right.
You're telling women that they're less than they're average at best. So you're not helping them to improve their self esteem about what they do and how they are and who they are in this world. That doesn't make any sense to me. Stop buying into the propaganda. These folks are doing it for views, and they are trying to get
And money.
YouTube ad revenue. Period.
Right.
Period. Watch who
They
you're
don't
following out
care.
here, because
Right.
you're
They
gonna
don't give
follow
a
them straight to
darn.
hell.
Right. They don't
Yeah.
they don't care about you.
Right.
And in Kevin's platform was, even I remember not that long ago, when he would go live on YouTube, I
Mhm.
know, you would have to pay to even comment. And
Right.
and even I was watching it in a car one day with my daughter, like just sitting in the drive
Yeah.
through, and she was so flabbergasted by what was
Hmm.
going on. Like she was like, who is this old dude and what is he talking about?
Right.
She's like, he sounds really, really crazy. She's 15. You
Right.
sound crazy to and I heard a young lady the other day trying to say that. Like
Uh-huh.
you don't, that's not how we think. That's not how my
Right.
generation thinks. But I don't know. It's about money. We know that we to have to pay to comment. And so one thing that she asked me was, what are they getting? What are they paying him for? I wish I could tell
Validation.
you. Okay.
Validation.
Because
Validation,
I
just
had
like this dude.
absolutely no clue.
Thank you. Because validation, just like this dude on his Facebook page that came out to Douglasville, killed his wife, killed his mother in law, killed himself. There's nothing on his page that says that anything was his fault. Everything was modern women this and women need
Right.
to do this. There was nothing to, I saw nothing on his page that accepted any responsibility for anything that he may have done wrong in his relationship. That's my problem. I'm like, everybody is equally there's an equal baby when it comes to relationships going wrong. Everybody can say, well, you know what, I did not do this like I should have, but man, people got to learn how to take
I mean,
personal
but I don't even.
responsibility.
But let's. Here's the thing. I think that when you conflate Facebook and relationship status and married
Mhm.
couples, like all of that just doesn't make sense to me. Like we
Right.
shouldn't that shouldn't be a part of your Facebook life or your social media life. I don't want to know
Yeah.
what's going on in your house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yes, I love seeing the cute pictures on the beach of the family. I love seeing it, just the cute little
Hmm.
pictures everywhere in Atlanta. But I don't need to know what's going on in your household. Period.
Right.
So
Right.
if we can take the relationships, the real marriages that, if we could take that stuff off of social media so that it's not the world looking,
Mm.
deal with that person one on
Right.
one. That
Right.
that that's it. And we need to learn how to communicate. We need to learn how to talk to one another
Hmm.
without anger. We need to be able to come together. If we don't, we're not going to be able to fix anything.
Right.
And you
We're
have a
we're we're in a mess.
24-year-old woman.
No, I said we're in a mess. Yeah.
Right. You have, a 24-year-old woman who with a 34-year-old man who like she's not as advanced as he is. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Or wasn't. And they didn't have kids, right?
And from what I could tell from the reports, there were no kids involved. Thank God. You know.
I mean, yes, thank God for that small miracle. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just a
Right.
sad situation. It's a sad, and I
It.
pray for anybody who's listening who is related to these young women. My heart goes out to
Hmm.
you. My heart goes
Right.
out to you. I pray for you. I pray for your strength, your courage to get out,
Right.
to get through this. But it's just a sad situation for everyone. And I'm pretty sure that the young man's family, they don't feel good about this either.
Right. It's
It,
embarrassing. Right.
yeah, yeah, it's sad.
But look, yeah, but look what Glenn said again. He said parenting has become a fad. Children are raising themselves. Social media and technology have
That's
replaced
true.
dinner at 6 p.m. and family outings. We get what we invest in. We when we allow children to act like adults, we get adults who act like children. I mean, period. I
Mm,
mean, dude, you nailed
you,
it. You nailed it. Because
facts.
girl, I just told you about the issue that I'm having. My son's being bullied by some kid in the neighborhood. His mom, and no knock on her. This woman is a single mom that has to work. She's a nurse and she's working overnight shifts. So her son gets to run the neighborhood and run wild and basically terrorize kids he feels that are weaker than him to make himself feel strong. So the thing is, what do you do? What do you do with a parent that has to work and doesn't really have that time to feed and really, feed into the child the way she needs to. It's
Ideally, you would have a father. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the simple
yeah,
as that, and
you're
it
right.
may be ideal. However, maybe we need to start moving towards the ideal because that seems to, actually that may work. But yeah,
Right.
ideally you would have a father who would still be in that household, who would have the child while the mom works those hours. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And he would be able to raise the child and monitor the child and, play basketball. I don't know, whatever dads and sons
Right.
do. But yeah, ideally that would be what would happen.
Hmm. Right. And so again, I want to reiterate the fact that I am streaming this, to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and my personal page. And I have, a multicultural friends on my Facebook timeline. And it's not to exclude any other cultural group, but I'm just talking about what we go through as a culture. And so
Right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I know sometimes there's always this issue of, well, we all people are people, but no, I feel like my people, because it's my experience, we have gone through a different situation. Now, what you've gone through with your culture is different. The Jewish people they have their own culture, and Chinese people have their own experiences and their things they've gone through historically. So I think we have the right to be able to talk about what we're going through. And so again, I just mentioned that because I don't want to feel like anyone should feel excluded. But we talking about our folks, our people that look like
Yeah,
us,
no,
our
I will
skin
hope
folk. You know what I'm saying?
I
Our
will
skin
hope
folk,
no
kinfolk.
one. Yeah, no, I will hope no one will feel like that,
Yeah.
because I think that
Right.
historically the Black community has been willing to stand with every community that's going through some type of
Right.
oppression. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And we
Yeah.
didn't like that's just what I've seen historically about us. Like,
Yeah.
we will stand with the side that's right, you know?
Right. Right.
And we because we've been oppressed, we don't want anybody going through that.
Right.
So yeah, so I will hope no one would think that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I just put that out as a disclaimer because the bottom line is we're talking about what's going on in our community and trying to address the issues. If there are mental health issues, if there are things that we are not recognizing, then these are things that we need to address immediately because they're becoming a major problem, and it's something that is going to affect our future generations, our children, your parent, my parent. The kids are so disrespectful nowadays. There's so many people that are just so disrespectful and on edge and touchy, and you can't really say anything to people nowadays because everybody's so edgy and touchy, and they don't want to talk about what's really going on. And like I said, I'm talking about our community. I don't care I'm not talking about what the government needs to do. I'm talking about what we need to be doing. Period. If you wait for the government, you'll be waiting forever. So I'm talking about what we need to be doing and what we need to address. If you see a cousin, an uncle, somebody that is having some issues, if they're posting crazy stuff on social media, say something to them, call them, reach out immediately before something stupid like this happens again, because people don't need to lose their lives because somebody was just literally on the edge that could have been brought back. I have people in my family that have committed suicide. I know what it feels like to go through that. So come on, man. That's all I'm saying. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I co-sign everything you said. It's just, again, it's a sad situation all around, and
Yeah.
you can do the small things that we do, like just
Hmm.
communicating with people, just
Right.
reaching out, just sending an inspirational message to someone.
Right.
Like, you never know how that can make someone's day go a different
Hmm.
way. Just
Right.
reaching out to make sure, because people don't call anymore to just make sure you're okay. Like, we all know that
Right.
people just call because they want something or they need something. Same thing. But
Right.
they don't just reach out to be like, how are you? Like, for real, for real.
Right.
People don't do that. And this is a time where we really need people to do that more, because we've been through 2020 and all of that. We need that. We
Right.
need to be more connected on a higher level, on a higher
Right.
vibrational level. Like, we got
Right.
phones. Yeah, we got that. We got internet. We got social media and all that. And we're all connected like that. But there's no
Hmm.
real connection anymore. People
Right.
don't really bond, you know what I'm saying, and
Hmm.
make sure that each other is okay. So yeah, we
Right.
we definitely need to do more than that.
And that's my dog again. He said we need that hard work. Now, Glenn,
Thanks,
let me tell you
Glenn.
something. Glenn got a major movement going on where he is, he's got a program he's established, girl, written books and everything. Y'all look my dude
All
up,
right.
hashtag hard work, where he is teaching leaders and managers how to, love the people that they're working with. And I think that's so critical because
Mm.
it's like essential to the fact that you are going to work for 8, 9 hours working with a manager that you sometimes feel like don't even know you or even care about you. So
Correct.
imagine if you can have a well-rounded situation where not only are you being supported at home, but you're also being supported at work. And that's what his
Oh,
program is about. So please, y'all,
yes,
look my
that is
boy up. Look my
amazing,
boy
Glenn.
up.
Let's talk. That's
Yes,
amazing. I like
yes,
that. We
yes,
need that
yes.
in the workforce.
He's
Yes.
teaching managers how to learn. He's teaching them how to love the people that they work with, love the work that they
Right.
do, so that work doesn't feel like such a freaking grind or slave train, because
Right.
you go to work
And
and you're
we
like,
got
oh God, there's the manager. And you
and we
hate
gotta
work, you
know
hate
that
life.
go ahead.
Nah, he's like, it's like you hate work, you hate life, you hate
Right.
going home. You don't, you have no escape, and that's why people are so burnt out, and they end up doing crazy stuff like this because there's no escape from any of it.
Right. Right. You gotta,
Mhm.
I mean, and you have to understand, like, no, you don't have to like everyone. But yeah, like that's kind of God's call to us to love, to be
Uh,
kind to one another. And if
Right,
we as a community could just start at kindness. That's it. Like
right,
let's start at kindness because that's the bare minimum. You know what I
right,
mean? That is the real bare minimum. That's before you
right.
get to helping each other, get to certain, successes or whatever. Like that's before you start building communities and building wealth and all. The kindness comes before all of that. If you can't get
Mhm.
kindness together, you can forget it.
You can't do nothing else. And the thing is, and what's so crazy is that you would think being kind would be the easiest thing to do, but honestly, Stacey, it's not really easy because you talking about riding through a drive-through at the drive-through at the fast food restaurant and trying to keep your cool with the
I
cashier
mean,
that may have messed up your order, and
I
you can't
here's
even be kind to them.
Yeah, here's my thing. I'm always kind to those people. I'm always kind to anybody. Like, why not? It doesn't cost me anything to be kind. And what I've noticed is that
Mhm.
when you put kindness into the universe, that's what you get back. Like, people can literally hear your smile in your voice. You know
Thank
what
you.
I'm saying? When I go to the
Right.
drive-through, my drive-through experience is always amazing because I'm always smiling. I'm always like, how are you doing? Thank you. So they know me and my McDonald's, but it's always, and I can hear the change in people's voice
Mhm.
when, the through the little drive through, they'll say something. And when I say my order, I can hear their whole tone change and they get nicer because I'm nice to them. We need to understand kindness. And for some reason, we think that kindness is weakness and we don't want to show that. We've been taught, that we can't do
Mhm.
that. But I'm here to tell you, like, when you put that out to the universe, yeah, you're gonna get some bad because people are haters. Like, some people are
Right.
just straight haters.
Right.
That's what they was born to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So haters gonna hate. I think Ryan Cameron said that haters gonna hate. So
Right.
that's fine, but understand that that's not everybody. And most
Right.
people, I remember, walking downtown and walking to work, and I always thought I was cute. So I always had, a smile on my face. And I mean, just the people that would just like, it was like the whole world would be smiling back at me. At least that's how I felt. That's what I saw. So you get back what you put into the universe, period.
Right.
It is what it is. And no, it's not hard because I had to sit in Crystals. My daughter and son, I was coming back from somewhere and they wanted me to stop at Crystals. It was already a 45-minute drive. I get
Mhm.
to Checkers. I'm sorry. I get to Checkers and the line is going so slow. I didn't get mad. I
Right.
thought about it for a minute, like maybe I'll go to Wendy's. But I said by the time I get there, I'll be at the, front here. So I might as well stay
Exactly.
here. I plugged my
Mhm.
phone up and I jammed to my music and I sat there for a good old hour. And I was
Right.
probably car number 5, no lie. And it
Right.
took me an hour. And I could have gotten mad. I could have chosen to get mad and be like, I ain't staying here, forget this. But why? I told my sister later, like, that was one of the rare opportunities that I got to be by myself, listening to
Mhm.
what I wanted to listen to and relaxing. So if I have to get that done in a drive-through to get some food,
So be it.
what over here? Why am I gonna have attitude about that? I would
That's what
no.
I'm saying.
Mm-mm. It's how
That's what I'm
you
saying.
choose to move about.
Thank you. And I've had the same experience because the thing is, certain things just are not worth it. And when I look at this young man here, this Prince Udo, what happened in his life? Who didn't show him love? Who, where did things get so skewed in his head where he felt like he had no other options but to come out to Douglasville and commit a horrendous act? it, it's girl, it's just, it floors me. It just floors me. And I think that we gotta, even with the bully, that my kid, had to deal with. I told my husband, I was like, when you deal with him, or when you go talk with him, make sure you're try to be as gentle as possible. Because the thing is, I don't want to, more negativity spreading. Because the thing is, yeah, you can go out there and punk him and make him feel like but you don't know what that's gonna grow. This dude doesn't have a father. So anywhere you can try to spread positive energy,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
we've got to do it, because you don't know what
Yes.
people are going through. You don't know
Yes.
how they're hurting, why they're hurting. And I just think it's important for us to, man, I don't know,
No.
girl. Like I said, this story touched me in a way that I really just didn't expect. Because, like I said, we normally do not go live on my personal page with our podcast, but I just felt like this was something that just we really needed to talk about. We're talking about love and relationships, man. We're talking about knowing what your love language is, and knowing what it is that makes you tick, and knowing what your partner needs from you, so that y'all can communicate. It's that love language is not just between you and your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever. It's between you and your kids. It's between even your boss. You and your boss got a love language. There's a love language. Your boss has a way that he needs you to communicate, or he or she needs you to communicate with them, so that
There is
y'all
a
can have a
professional version,
symbiotic
though.
relationship. Definitely professional, I understand.
There's a
But
professional
what we talk
version.
about, right? But what we talk about, works of service. What is
Hmm.
it?
Acts of
What's the
service,
girl?
quality
Acts of
time,
service.
yeah. Touch,
Thank
affection, something like that.
Yeah,
And
well,
what's
yeah,
and
we ain't
yours
really
is
doing no
gifts?
quality time with our boss. Mine was acts of service.
Okay.
My love language is acts of service.
No, I was
I
saying the last
I
one.
yeah, yours is quality time, right?
Time, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, when you know that, then and like I say, yeah, we can talk about that with other relationships. But my with my baby girl, hers is quality time. She is like big on me spending time with her, and when I don't, she tends to act out. She wants me to go and play Roblox with her. She wants me to sit and watch movies with her and eat popcorn. That makes her feel good. That's her love language. So, girl, like I said,
I
we, we
get
we're
it.
hour in,
I know. Thank
and
you guys so much for
yes,
listening. I
yes,
know this one got kind of
definitely.
crazy. And again, I do apologize for you know what? I really don't. I'm sorry. Like I don't. It is what it is. With that,
Right.
good night, y'all. Love y'all.
Love y'all too. And don't forget to visit our website, Raindrop Combos, and know what your love language is. Let me pop the banner up on there real quick. Okay, so yes, what is your love language? If you are having issues and you're having problems communicating with your loved ones, the people that you're in close communication with, you're in love with, you are dating, please visit our website. We got a really cool, fun little quiz. I think it's about 5 or 6 questions. Check it out. Go to raindropconvos.com. Find out what your love language is, so that you can learn how to communicate with your significant other, your children, in a better way, so that we can start building better relationships and a better community overall. And this has been Michelle with Raindrop Combos,
And
and my
Stacy.
girl. Yes,
Stacy.
indeed.
Good night.
Good night. Love you guys. Have a good night. Follow, like, share. Show us some love.